What's happening, guys? Welcome to another video. So I hope you're all staying safe and well with everything that's going on at the moment in the world. It's all a bit weird. Apologies for not putting this update up a little bit sooner, but with everything going on, there's been an awful lot going on at my end and stuff, so it's just taking me a bit of time to basically get this update done. So today is exactly 21 weeks since I had my hair transplant in Istanbul, Turkey, with Get Hair and Dr. Tayfun. So it's like 147 days, I believe. Hopefully that's right, Max. So I just wanted to kind of give you an update on what's happened since my last update, which was 10 weeks ago today. So I was going to do updates a bit more frequently, but to be honest with you, there wasn't a great deal that really changed, within like a 2 or 3 week period. So I thought it'd be better for you to kind of notice a significant change with a greater amount of time, basically, right? So let's get into the video. So I'll give you a little insight into what it looks like at the front. So that is the frontal hairline. So obviously you can see that the hair has started to grow in length. However, it's certainly not obviously as dense as it will hopefully end up being. So you can see that there on the left, that's there on the front, and just on the other side there. And then obviously we've got the crown as well. So hopefully that's focusing in. So what I've noticed is that, as what most people notice really, is that the crown takes quite a bit longer to grow, basically. If I'm honest with you, I haven't really noticed any change whatsoever in my crown. And I do hope that starts to change a little bit further down the line. Obviously I've been looking up different people's videos and stuff like that, and people's progress will differ. Some people it's very quick. They implant the hairs, they grow straight away. There's not even really much of a shedding phase and stuff. Other people, they completely fall out and then you don't see anything for like 8-9 months. So I'd kind of say that I'm in between those two extremes. I'd say in certain lights along the front, you can see a noticeable difference. So, you can see like the outline of the hairline along here. It looks quite natural. It's not like too far forward, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of along the right lines of what I was hoping to achieve from the transplant itself. Like I said, I'm hoping just basically that the crown itself does start to fill in. So if you haven't obviously watched my other videos, then I would recommend just kind of going back to those just to get a better idea of what it looked like initially. There's even a couple of videos of my hair full length before I had the transplant done at all. So it's worth just watching those just to see what it looked like. And then you'll be able to see basically the progress that's been made in the last like 6 months, say. So just to kind of give you, like I said, there's a front look, there's a temple look on the left hand side, front again, temple on the right hand side, and the donor area is obviously, being unable to get a haircut and stuff, it's got a bit long, and obviously this hairstyle is a bit longer than I'd normally really have. But it's fine for the time being. It's not the end of the world. It's not messy or anything. So what I wanted to get into is what I've noticed across the last kind of 10 weeks or so, and the changes that I've kind of seen. So first and foremost, obviously the frontal hairline, starting to see more of an outline, and especially in lower lights, you can kind of see it looks more dense, basically. It's only when it's in quite bright light, so it's got like natural daylight at the moment. In quite bright light, it looks sort of very thin and everything still, which, essentially it still is. In darker lights and in the evening and stuff like that, it looks much more sort of, Lego hair, basically. I'm not obviously looking to achieve that look in the long run, but, really as it is at the moment, if it fills out and becomes a bit thicker and denser, then fantastic. That's all I could really hope for. And obviously, same with the crown as well. So what I have really started to notice is that on the donor area, although it's completely healed, the redness has kind of gone both in the front, the recipient areas, and there wasn't really a great deal of redness in the donor area. I can't really see it now because obviously the hair's quite long. What I have kind of noticed is that I do have a few lumps and bumps. So the minute I've got like one here, and then the one in the middle of my head here, I have had them sort of towards the crown and stuff as well. I can only assume they're just sort of like ingrown hairs and stuff like that. You don't really see it or notice it, so it's not really that big an issue, to be honest with you. If you to have like, a shaved like skin fade or something like that, you would probably be able to see it. But most people don't really have that option at the moment with not being able to get their hair cut and stuff. Since I last did my last update, I had to buy a new supply of finasteride. So rather than going to pharmacy direct GB where I did before, I actually sourced them from a website that was significantly cheaper actually, called Dr. Fox. So we've got the Accord finasteride. It comes in a little blister pack, which is very similar to the kind of branded Propecia. So I'll just kind of show you that just to see so you know what it looks like. So for those of you that take Propecia, you'll definitely recognize, obviously they used to do it on like a 7 pill, you know, one of these would be 1 week basically, but the actual blister pack itself is identical to Propecia. I haven't really noticed any difference in terms of the formula or anything, no side effects, nothing like that. I never really got any side effects from that kind of thing anyway, to be honest with you. So yeah, there's not really a lot to say about that, to be honest. Still using the Regain foam at the crown only, not on the frontal hairline or anything. Regain foam, yeah, it's okay. Sort of seems to do the job. I'm just really using it just to try and speed up the growth in the crown area, just because, you know, I do obviously want that to start filling in and stuff, you know. So most people say that, so from like 6-7 months onwards is where you see the greatest amount of change. And if that is the case, then I'm very content with what's happened so far. So, you know, the changes that I've seen, you can start to see more of a frame to my hairline and all that kind of stuff. They're all very positive. All I really want is for it to become more dense. So my hair, you can see, is quite naturally, you know, the areas that aren't thinning is quite thick and dense anyway. And so, you know, from my perspective, I kind of need it to match that level of density. So fingers crossed that that turns out as it should do and stuff, basically. Okay, so like always, if you do have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the section below. I'll be doing another update in approximately kind of maybe 5 or 6 weeks time. I'm going to play it by ear and see sort of what changes I notice and stuff. Probably the most significant change will be when I next am able to get a proper haircut. I've not yet let my partner try out cutting my hair because I don't really trust her to be honest, and tell her that. But yeah, like I said, when I start to see a few different changes, bits and pieces like that, I'll certainly update you all. And in the meantime, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.